just on my way to get some gas, and then I'll fire up these apps and see what we have. Loading up DoorDash, you see that it says busy with a dark red tint over my zone. That doesn't necessarily mean that there's a lot of orders coming in. It just means that there aren't enough drivers signed up for that time yet in that zone. So beware. I was very happy to pull into the gas station and see gas was below $3. I'll even take $2.99. I'm happy with that. First order of the morning came in for $11.67, going 3.7 miles. That's a great way to start the day. Thank you for those instructions, Mr. Yogi. I won't ring your bell. Won't ring your bell. Ding dong. Ring a ding. Alright, I apologize for the singing. It'll never happen again. Second order came in for Starbucks, $11.04. Loved their doormat. Hope you brought wine. Made me smile, so I tried to make them smile and say I didn't bring wine, but I brought your coffee. Ha ha. It did work because they must have increased the percentage of the tip. It went from $11.04 to $11.29. I'll take whatever I can get, but hopefully I made them smile too. Speaking of wine, I had quite a religious experience with the next McDonald's drop-off here. Mother Mary, please watch over this McDonald's. Keep it warm and fresh and away from stray animals until the customer retrieves it. Thank you. Amen. But even Mary couldn't stop this nightmare from happening. Well, had a great start to the morning. $22, my first 2 orders from Starbucks. I did a Panera, I did a McDonald's, but realizing the whole time that Starbucks, nothing was coming in for Starbucks. Which is very odd for a Friday morning. So I actually logged into the Uber Eats app, not the Uber driver app, but the Uber Eats app that the customer would use. And I saw that the 2 Starbucks in my market were not available. So what happens is I went in there and they said that they were so backed up and behind from mobile orders, in person, that from time to time they do turn their tablet off for Uber. And I know a lot of restaurants do this, whether it's DoorDash, Grubhub, whatever it may be. If they are backed up and can't take any more orders, they will turn it off. And that customer will have to order from the next nearest restaurant or another place. But that's just another example of this gig economy that I'm thinking, oh, Friday mornings have been great for me, especially Starbucks. Sometimes I just do exclusively Starbucks, but they were backed up. So it made my earnings tank a little bit for a Friday morning. You know, it doesn't happen too often, but when it does really have an impact. Now, I could have drove to a different zone that has a couple Starbucks, but it was getting closer to lunchtime, so I had faith that, you know, the Starbucks would die off eventually anyway, and people would start ordering lunch. But it just goes to show there's never consistency in this gig work, and, you know, something like that can really affect you as a driver trying to make money. With Starbucks being offline for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, I did probably lose about $30 to $40. Based off of other Friday mornings, I was, you know, averaging about that amount down. So I hope that doesn't happen again.
It's about time, saying that you're unavailable. I'd have to go walk 3 blocks and get it myself? I don't think so.
As the days went on, I noticed an uptick in customer delivery instructions that contradicted one another, such as the customer selecting hand to me or meet at door, and then in the note section saying to leave it by the door. This is a red flag to us drivers because those options do not prompt us to take a photo of the delivery, which would then leave us with no proof if we needed to appeal a fraudulent charge. I see this pretty often on DoorDash, but not necessarily on Uber Eats. So I'm going to insert a screenshot of this happening on Uber Eats. Since the app will not prompt you to take a photo when the customer selects meet at door, I made sure to take a photo of the drop-off with my timestamp app, which shows the date, time, and address of my location. I also made sure to text the customer within the Uber app, so Uber would have visibility to the communication. If this customer happened to report that she did not receive her delivery, I now had proof of communication to her as well as a photo on file if I had to fight a fraudulent accusation. I have heard too many stories of drivers getting contract violations or getting deactivated based on these dishonest customers, which is why I do all I can to protect myself out there. You know, I'm feeling good this morning. I got my coffee. I'm happy. First order of the day, $8 going 1.8 miles, I think it was. Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts discontinued something this woman ordered. So, first of all, I don't even know, is that Uber's fault? Is that Dunkin' Donuts' fault? Like, how do they update the menu within Uber? But they should get on that. So I called this woman 2 times and text her through the app 3 times. She never answered. I waited 13 minutes in that store to hear back from her. I don't know why. It's because I felt bad. You know, I wanted her to get the right thing. I don't want to get a thumbs down. But I just need to tell myself next time if I call and they don't answer the first time, then either the restaurant doesn't have to replace it and they could just request a refund, the customer, or, you know, they can put the next best thing in there and hope for the best. But you just placed an order through the Uber Eats app on your phone. I'm sure you're looking at your phone because it's a leave at door, so you're probably looking to see when it was picked up and when you should expect it. I message you 3 times and call you twice and I'm ignored. That's on you, customer. Sorry. Well, this has been a very eventful night for me. Probably one of the smoothest nights I've had in quite some time. DoorDash was running $1.50 peak pay, and every single delivery I did ended up, I don't know what this glare is. Every single delivery ended up tipping more than what was shown, which was great. And then there's a restaurant in my area that has been around for about a year now, I think about a year, and they must have just signed up to do delivery with Uber Eats because I just noticed it Friday, I believe, and today was the first day that I actually picked up an order from there, and it was ready on time, it was packed very well, and the deliveries I have seen, or the offers I have seen come through from there, have been pretty well priced. It was funny, that guy, I dropped it off to him and he lived at the end of a dead end. I couldn't see his address anywhere and it was a leave at door. So, you know, I did my Google Maps to get a picture of the house, see what it looks like. He actually met me at the door with a mask on. He was a nice older gentleman. He goes, "Hey, you found it, you got the right place." And I go, "Yeah, I couldn't see an address." And he laughed. He's like, "Yeah, it's hidden down there in the stones." And I was like, "Oh." He's like, "But, you know, thanks for finding it." So he knows his address is hidden. Maybe that's why he comes to the door. I don't know. But, yeah, tonight, just every person who had to leave at door had very detailed instructions, which was great. I wanted to take a moment to talk about this delivery with the check mark here. It was a delivery to a gated community of high-rises. And there was a very friendly guard at the entrance to get my car through. He actually knew that I was arriving because the customer called him and let him know that she ordered Uber Eats. Then she sent me this message you see here to assure me that I could park in front of the building because there were no parking signs everywhere, and then let me know where exactly I can meet her. She was waiting with the door open in the hallway, and it was a very elderly lady with a cane. And she was so appreciative that I brought her food all the way up. You know, we never know who we're delivering to, which is why I never have a problem going straight to the door in a building if that is where the customer requests. I just see so much complaining of people not wanting to deliver to somebody's door if they're in a building, but you know what? That's our job. I'm happy to do it. The other handed to me, met me at the door, had a mask on. That was great. Side note, that customer who met me ordered the biggest, heaviest bag of barbecue food I ever saw in my life. And man, did it smell good. When my friend sent me this picture about how to cure your hunger with that dented forehead, I said that's how I look at the end of my shifts when I am starving. So yeah, just a really good night. I made, well, you know, it'll take a while until those tips come through on Uber, but I think I made about $65, $70 in an hour and a half. And it is a little after 7:30 now, so unfortunately it is starting to die down a little bit here out in the burbs. I've made my goal for the day, made my goal for the week, so I'm gonna go home because it's dinner time for me.